So I believe we are finally there. We've finally reached the point where the bubble is going to pop. Over the next couple days, you'll start to see some pullback on all the different indices, the S&P 500, the Dow, the RUT, or the Russell 2K, the NASDAQ. They're all going to start pulling back. You're going to see some pops because there's still going to be the BTFDers, the freaking dippers out there who just don't understand yet what's going to happen. So it's still going to back test the old trend lines that they just broke out of. But a lot of these trend lines are trend lines that have been going on for months now. One trend line I saw had been going back to the peak of the 08 peak, and it just hit the top of the trend line again, and now it should puke and bounce off. But this is the big one of this year. This is the big one of 19. Is it the big one for this decade, or is it the big pullback of just this year? I personally think with everything culminating, it's the big one of the decade, and maybe the biggest one of this half century. When you look at everything that's being put together right now, I mean, Japan's been in 20 to 30 years of just barely abysmal growth. The German sector, the auto sector, the manufacturing industry, the whole German economy is just barely floating by. South Korea, I've seen some of their sectors are down 30% year over year. Some of their cargo shipments, their exports are down 50% year over year, depending on which company you look at. China is barely. I saw something where last quarter they were like 2% or something over the last quarter, and anyways, they're supposed to be like 6. I don't know that number too well. I don't really look at China too much because whatever they say, you can't believe it. They're going to put out what they want, so I don't ever trust anything they say or listen to it anyways. But when you look at Australia's numbers, South Korea, Japan, China, Asia is headed for a recession. Now, is it going to be a depression, a recession? Well, you have to look at everything. I mean, a lot of these countries are already in negative interest rates. What are they going to do? How are they going to go below negative? They can't. They have no play. We're almost to the point where the only play left is printing money. And that may be the last play. So, once again, the dollar is going to skyrocket. Emerging markets are going to collapse. China is going to collapse. Everybody's going to collapse, and we've reached the end of this business cycle. It's over, and it's the longest business cycle ever. So, I mean, it was good, but it is over. Over the next week, 2 weeks, you'll see people trying to buy the dip, and they're going to do it failingly. We're going to crash. I don't know if it's going to be 3 months or 3 years, but guess we'll find out. Keep posted, guys. Don't go long. If you're gonna go in, you better short the market. Keep your stops tight. Good luck.